And midway through our short series on accents on Get a Better Broadcast, Podcast and Video Voice. Hello, I'm Peter Stewart. Thank you for the loan of your ears. And today, how a rat can help you learn a new accent. Yeah, unsurprisingly, you can learn other accents via mimicry, simply listening and accurately repeating how a native speaker speaks, including the subtle nuances, yeah? So we're talking about accents rather than languages, as we were yesterday. And there are some resources to help you learn a new accent. So if you are a native American and you want to speak American English with, what shall we say? Let's say a Swedish accent. Yeah, let's go to the Scandinavian countries for an example. Then you can do just that. How? Where do you get that resource? How do you know what a Swede speaking English with a Swedish accent is going to sound like? I'm going to tell you over the course of the next couple of 3 minutes. So, there are several short texts which contain all of the phonetic constructs in the English language. Every consonant and vowel structure and how one sound moves into another and so on. And these short texts, you may have come across these before. You can Google them, but also I've got a link to them in our show notes. They're called things, they're little short stories. Arthur the Rat, Comma Gets a Cure, and The Rainbow Passage. And those stories are used, for example, by speech therapists when they're analysing a patient and the word formations that they may be having difficulty in saying. And they've also been recorded by differently accented people around the world to create a huge database of various voices which you can listen to and learn from. So, as I say, I link to these in the show notes, and you can go to these sites and choose a story and an accent, male or female, an age that's appropriate to maybe the character that you're going to be playing, and mimic the sounds as you follow the text. So, for example, you can hear a middle-aged German man read about Arthur the Rat in English with a German accent. It's a great resource and hopefully avoids you creating a fake, stereotypical or potentially offensive caricature type accent. Now, do be aware of a couple of things when you go through these sites. You're only listening to real people. That recording may be of someone who naturally speaks with less projection or slightly faster than the general population in that country. Indeed, how do we distinguish between language, inflection and rhythm that belongs to the accent and that which idiosyncratically belongs to the speaker demonstrating that accent? It's difficult, but heck, we're a long way down this road anyway with these sites. There's no one correct accent for a country or region. Again, the recordings are of individuals, so you'll hear a voice with that regional approximation. It's the same way as not everyone from any city all speaks the same way, because of course they've all got different subtleties and influences and body shapes and so on and such forth and so on. Some of those recordings may be quite old, and as we've already seen, how people speak changes over time. And accents are not just the vowels and the consonants, they're also about where the emphasis is put within a word or a sentence. For example, Americans tend, in quite a few cases, to stress different syllables in a word than a Brit might. So there you go. Tomorrow, accents, not just how a word sounds, because all accents have a character. We'll be touching on that tomorrow. Then we've got some more accent tips the day after that. And then we're moving on to diction. As Get a Better Broadcast, Podcast and Video Voice continues. From London, I'm Peter Stewart.